Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Hughie Fury, he was slated to have a professional bout this weekend against an opponent and then another fight next weekend. These fights were going to help him shake off a little bit of ring rust ahead of Joseph Parker encounter in September. Now that fight is obviously for Joseph Parker's belt. Well, the WBO have actually stepped in here and they've said to Fury, hang on a second, you can't have a professional fight ahead of the Joseph Parker bout. And their rules actually state that because he is the mandatory challenger, he can't fight anyone else. I did remember thinking at the time when it was announced that he was going to have a couple of tune-up fights that, well, hang on, how can he actually get away with that? So apparently WBO rules prohibit that, and Hughie will no longer be fighting a professional, well, at least something that's going on his record. So instead, he's going to be fighting an exhibition fight. And as far as I can ascertain from what the internet's been able to tell me, he'll be fighting this weekend a guy called Camille Sokolowski. So he's a Pole out of, I think he's fighting out of Devon according to his box rec. I'll just bring that back up. Camille Sokolowski. Okay, sorry about that. I had the page up and then it was gone. So Camille Sokolowski. So he is out of Poland, but he's residing in Devon at the moment. He's had 16 professional fights, 4 wins, 10 losses, 2 draws. He currently is 31 years old and he's 6'1". So hardly a stellar record, you'd say, but I mean that doesn't really matter for a fight like this. Fury's just trying to, like I said before, work out the ring rust. Because you must remember, Fury has not had a fight since he beat Fred Cassie in a decision win. I think that was in April last year. So he really has been out of action for some time. Obviously, he's had some well-documented problems with acne and other bits and pieces. So these exhibition fights as they are now, you'd hope that he's not going to sort of blow these guys away in sort of half a round, because he probably does need a little bit of work. I mean, sure, he's been sparring and whatnot and had plenty of rounds in the gym, but it's a little bit different to something, you've got a crowd in front of you. You want to put some of the stuff that you've been doing in the gym into practice against someone you haven't fought against, someone you don't know. And given this guy, Camille Sokolowski, is not stellar, I mean, he should be able to easily take care of him over whatever it is, 6 or 8 rounds. So you'd hope he'd be getting in some strong work. Probably, I mean, if he's going to knock him out, I mean, at least do it late on, simply for the fact that if you really do want to shake the rust off, you've got to be in there and actually take care of the rounds. So we'll see what happens here with these exhibitions as they were. So I'm glad that the WBO has sort of stepped in here. Frank Warren, Hughie's promoter, had a couple of things to say. This is as per Boxing News. The WBO, once you're a mandatory, you're not allowed to have a fight before your title shot, otherwise you'll lose your position. He's got some cobwebs to blow off, so he'll be in an exhibition. That's Frank Warren there, his promoter. Well, it'll be interesting to see how he's sort of shaping up from that. Probably there won't be a lot to read from these fights, from whatever footage ends up popping up on the internet. But I think, personally, he probably will be better for these couple of exhibitions. But in terms of Joseph Parker, I mean, this guy's 6'1". He doesn't really seem that flash, but hard to know how that'll help him prepare for Parker. It's probably more just sort of getting a bit loose and getting into it. Okay, that's it from me. Drop a comment, hit like and subscribe. I'm out.